So let's dive into Rintaro and how it came to be. So, how did it start? How did the project kind of gain its original footing and start building, the original community behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Rintaro, just a little bit of the backstory. Rintaro is the brother of Neiro. So Neiro, I don't know how much your community is into memes, but just a little backstory on that. Neiro was adopted by Kabosumama when Kabosu passed away earlier this year. So we just saw the craze that emerged of Neiro basically becoming the next Doge coin or the next Shiba. Um, so Neiro, I think today was at 750 mil, and there's two other Neros, another one on Ethereum, which is I think around 100 mil, and another one on Solana, which is around 5 mil. So the narrative of Neiro as an extension of Doge was undeniable, and then basically the plot really thickened because it turned out that Neiro had a brother. They were in the shelter together, and they got separated. So I basically saw this project launch on Solana. I got in, I think it was on the second day. It was about a $2 million market cap. We went to $4 million, and then, I can't speak on exactly what happened, but my understanding is that the original team didn't have the intention or the drive to see the project to its highest potential, and rugged it basically. So it dropped down to about 200K. I, charged in there and bought the dip, and yeah, we had a few days of real chaos, really not knowing what was going on. Did the team rug it? Was it capitulation? Was it what was going on? And as the dust settled, it emerged. Yes, the team was a dodgy team, and at that point, most projects in Solana would just go to zero. They would, everyone would capitulate. They would sell at a loss and get out. But what happened with Rintaro, everyone sort of saw the strength of the narrative. They refused to let the story die. A bunch of us all jumped in on those dips, and we dipped from 4 million to 200K, and then straight back up to 2 million. So we had these crazy capitulations, and then also crazy conviction bounces. So yeah, the CTO just kind of took off straight away. Most CTOs kind of struggle for a while figuring out what's going on. We fortunately had a great group of people in there already who saw the strength of the narrative. I jumped in. I had a tiny bag. I just got to say, I could have walked away, but I saw the community forming. I saw the potential of the narrative. It was called over 30 times at launch, um, and so I just started creating content. I have my own design studio. I'm an architect and also a graphic designer. So I just asked myself, how can I be of service? I jumped in, started making content every day. I started, opening VCs every day to coordinate it with everyone so that, there wasn't that sort of confusion being alone in the dark, and, made a whale group to coordinate with the top holders so that, again, they wouldn't be alone, wondering if the other top holders were selling, if they could coordinate on strategic buys. And, after a few days of that, kind of got surprised because the community just randomly announced that they had voted me as the leader. It wasn't like a thing, I wasn't like, hey guys, we should look for a leader. But yeah, so that happened, and it was just an incredible honor. I wasn't expecting to be running a project 2 months ago, but yeah, I'm just super grateful for the opportunity. It's changed my life in an indescribable way. Connecting with the community in the way that we have. And at that point, the whales donated 0.1% of supply to me, and so I had a bigger bag. I've since donated that to our community wallet, our marketing wallet, and I've just been buying back at market to support the chart. So I'm now at I think 0.3%, and we'll be building that to 1% again. But we have basically just over 30% of supply in control of those whales that I mentioned, and they've been in calls with me every day. These are guys that I've been vetting and have confidence in. Obviously a few have dropped out along the way, and that's totally fine. It's an open market, and they've even been open about it. They said, this life circumstance came up, I'm really sorry guys, I hope I can buy back in a little while. but they didn't have to do that. They could have just sold, left the group. No, there would have been nothing to it. But everyone in there is very bonded now, and yeah, we're looking to lock 5% of that supply for the next few months. Just as a more bullish selling point. And yeah, just community is everything for me. I in my work I specialize in designing retreat centers. Community building. I do permaculture design, so yeah, community is a big part of the work that I do, and just the opportunity that it's created here to create a real community has been very special. Um, Sorry to go on so long. I'll let you jump in there.
No, yeah, that's great. I love the backstory, and for context, um, our community. I think there's some of us that are pretty big into memes, but definitely not all of us. I know that there's plenty of us who haven't really gotten too deep into the meme, kind of ecosystem and all the lore behind it. So I appreciate the backstory. I definitely love the ideas around building community and forging community. I think that's kind of the one of the biggest things in crypto, especially. Is that a lot of these communities are forged out of the fire. Like you kind of go through those hardships together, and then that's what ultimately builds the really strong core community. I know we've definitely experienced it many times and throughout the cycles on Inleo. So I definitely appreciate that narrative of forging your core community through those hardships.